But we're going to get started now. Welcome everyone to Essential Oils 101. So today we're going to be learning some really cool stuff, and I'm really super excited to share it with you all. So I want you guys to do yourselves a favor. Go ahead and close out Facebook, close out your email, turn off your phone. Go ahead and hit full screen if you can, because we're going to be going over a lot of really valuable information today that you deserve to learn. And it's really hard to really learn when we are jumping all over the place on Facebook and whatnot. So really allow yourself to learn for this it's going to be a full 1 hour at least. We probably might go a little bit over. Sorry, I'm a talker, but I'll try to limit it down, all right? We are going to be interacting on the Facebook page a little bit later, so that'll be a nice little experiment. We'll see who can resist going on Facebook and getting lost. And we'll see if we can hop on Facebook, get some interaction, and then come right back to the webinar, hopefully. All right, see if we can not get sucked in. So, Emily and I are here representing Revolution Oils. Revolution Oils, we are a team with one very simple mission. We want to change the world one drop at a time. So we consist of a large body of people, and we are super passionate about empowering you to become your own health advocate. Okay, we love to see people taking charge of their own health, making positive changes in their lives. Today we're here to just give you a really good tool. Essential Oils is just one really powerful tool that we can use to take our health back into our hands. So we're kind of like guides for that. The webinar agenda today, we're going to be going over what are essential oils, where they come from. We're going to be talking about therapeutic grade essential oils versus the oils that you would find in the store, at your health food store, or even the ones that you can find on Amazon that might be labeled as therapeutic grade. I know it can be really confusing, so we're going to break that down for you a little bit. Emily and I, we are representing Young Living today, and we're going to be talking about why we were very intentional in choosing Young Living as a company that we wanted to represent and the oils that we feel comfortable using. We'll talk about how to use essential oils safely, how to use them. There's 3 different ways that we'll talk about. And then we're going to go through, this is the fun part, we're going to go through 10 of the most popular essential oils and just kind of talk about how we use them and how you can use them to really step up your health this year. And then we'll finish off by just explaining the cheapest options that you have if you do choose to buy essential oils. Okay, we will try to answer some questions as they come up, but if your question doesn't get answered during the webinar, please don't hesitate to reach out via email. You can email Emily or me and ask us a question at any time if we don't get to it tonight. Okay. So
we have a couple.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
We have a couple of comments that people would like to, some health issues that they would love to heal, or they would love to find help with. We've got someone with rosacea and someone who is interested in losing weight and controlling their allergies without prescription meds. So, and ease stress. So, just wanted to.
Great, thanks.
Let you know, yeah.
Those are all really, really great things. And it brings up the little disclaimer. So tonight we will not be talking about allergies, folks. We will be talking about the seasonal sniffles. Okay, this webinar is for informational purposes only. Okay, we are just moms here. We're not doctors. So, and you know, the FDA is here to protect you. So they will not allow us to use any sort of medical terms, anything like that. So you just want to put your thinking caps on a little bit today. We might be using some phrases that sound a little bit confusing. So just use your creative brains to interpret some of the things that we might be talking about today. But I want to go back, Emily, and just have you introduce yourself, and then I'll introduce myself so people can know a little bit about where we're coming from and how long we've been using oils and what our backgrounds are.
Yeah. Well, I'm Emily, and I just am excited about oils. I've just started getting into them and realizing how amazing they are. When I first heard the term essential oils, I thought, oh, something from a plant that makes you smell good. But I'm realizing how much more powerful they are than just a smell. And so excited to be here. I'm a mom of 3, so my kids are also loving the oils too.
Yeah, my kids love the oils as well. So I'm Sam. I'm a mom of 2. My background is actually in women's health. So I was a childbirth educator for years. I still am. And I also am a doula, which for those who don't know what a doula does, we just attend births with couples and we just help them through the childbirth experience. So my background is mostly in women's health, but I have studied herbs and natural healing just for my own personal use for a long time. So it's something that I'm really passionate about. And I've always been one to just kind of go out and learn this stuff as it comes up because I just think it's so important that we take care of ourselves and we become our own health advocates. So I'm sort of always, learning this stuff. So when my friend introduced me to essential oils, was about a year ago, and I was so new to them. I was sort of like Emily. I had no idea that they could be such powerful wellness tools. I didn't understand the difference between, Young Living therapeutic grade oils and what those can do for your health, versus just the ones that you might use from the health food store for craft projects and things like that. So I've been using them for about a year, and I've been using them mainly for my seasonal sniffles. So it's been amazing the effects that it's had, on my health. So I started using them in the fall of last season, which is a really hard time for me, and I immediately started using lemon, lavender, and peppermint, and I really noticed a huge decrease in the amount of medication I would have to take for that. And now that it's been a year, I've been using them, and spring is here, which is normally the hardest time of year for me. Like, it's horrible. My friends all know me as Snot Lady because I'm just constantly sneezing. But this year, I have not had to take a single pill. I've been using my oils, and because I've been using them for about a year now, I mean, they are working so well. They're working more than anything I've tried in the past for this issue. I mean, I've tried acupuncture, herbs, teas, tinctures, you name it. So I'm just ecstatic. I'm so happy about the results that I've been having. So I'll try to touch on that a little bit more for those out there with the same problems. So the webinar today, as just as a thank you for you guys being here live with us, which we love. We love it when people are here live with us. It makes it really fun. We're going to be giving away some of these lovely diffuser necklaces. So stick around for that. In the middle of the webinar, we're going to take a little bit of a pause, and we're going to do what I like to call the teacher's pet contest. Okay, so the teacher's pet contest, it requires you to take notes to win. So for those that want to take notes, we encourage you to do so. So go ahead and get out, pen and paper or a Word document, wherever you like to take notes, and follow along. And we're going to ask a question in the middle, and whoever's taken the best notes will win. And we'll go over, the details of that a little bit later.
I've just been asked what I'm diffusing in the background here. And today I've got Stress Away in my diffuser because that's just what kind of day it's been today.
I didn't know that, Emily. I totally have Stress Away on right now, too. How funny is that?
That's great.
Yeah, webinars, they can be a little stressful. It's a lot of technology, so. Yeah.
Also,
so
children.
essential oils, are they a hoax? This is, children are stressful. Yeah, children all day and then jumping onto a webinar. Yeah, it's fun.
It is.
But a lot of people, they want to know, do essential oils work? Are they a hoax? So I've come from sort of a scientific background. I get really geeked out when I talk about the science of essential oils. So for those science geeks out there, you can go to pubmed.gov. It's a great government website that is just sort of a database of different studies done on all sorts of things. And if you actually type in essential oils, you'll get over 4,500 studies done on the effectiveness of essential oils, which I think is really cool. Coincidentally, also, if you type in essential oils dangerous or anything like that, you'll find 0 results, which I think is good. Essential oils are not just a fad right now. They've been used for centuries, really, but right now they're pretty frequently used in different European hospitals. So you'll actually have doctors over there prescribing essential oils to their patients in the form of a pill when they're really high-quality therapeutic grade oils. Essential oils date back to 4,500 BC, so this really used to be the main form of medicine that people used to use, and it's only really kind of coming back full circle because of the hard work that Young Living has put into bringing true therapeutic grade oils, to the world. So they've become a little bit of a hot topic, a little bit of a fad lately, but they are, more ancient than a lot of other things. So, and if you're the type that likes to look at testimonials, there's a website called www.oil-testimonials.com. It's a free website. You do have to create a member sign-in, a sign-in and a password to search the database, but it's free, and you can go and you can search countless testimonies and see what people have used for what with the Young Living essential oils, which is cool. Yeah, Emily, what was your first reaction, you think, to like the concepts of essential oils as healing tools?
It made sense to me. I hadn't thought of it much before. I'd used them in my laundry, but it made so much sense to me because I feel like God made plants, and it would make sense that there would be healing properties to those that we could use for ourselves, not just for the plants.
Great. So do you want to talk about this slide a little? What are essential oils?
Yeah, essential oils are the life force of the plant, like blood is to us. So the oil protects the plant. When a plant has like a break or an injury, the oil floods to that area and heals the plant and protects them from outside dangers like insects, and it's just an incredible part of the plant.
Yeah. And I like to think of them, as like most medicine these days is derived from plant biology somehow, like penicillin, for example. Essential oils are basically just that therapeutic quality of the plant in its concentrated form. And if you compare this to like dried herbs or tinctures, you're actually going to lose 97% of that essential oil, of that life force of the plant, when you use herbs in that form. So it's very, very concentrated and very, very potent. So like this slide says, 1 drop of lavender oil contains 5 cups of lavender flower. So just imagine, so everyone kind of close their eyes and picture, a quart mason jar. Okay, a quart mason jar is actually only 4 cups, but it's a good visual. So imagine a big quart mason jar and pack it full of lavender flower. That is equivalent to 1 drop of lavender essential oil, or at least Young Living's therapeutic grade essential oil. It's very, very potent.
Yeah, and imagine yourself having 28 people over for tea. Maybe you would want to make some peppermint tea. Well, if you were using essential oil, I think you would only need 1 drop of peppermint essential oil. In other words, 1 drop of peppermint essential oil is equivalent to like 28 cups of peppermint tea. Yeah. So that's pretty potent stuff.
Yeah, very potent. So, and what this means, the fact that they're so potent, for one, it means that they're very cost effective. So yes, a bottle of true therapeutic grade essential oil might be a little bit pricey, but one drop is so powerful that it can really go a long way. It also means that they should not be overused. We don't want to abuse these essential oils, much like you wouldn't want to abuse any sort of medication. So you want to take it slow in the beginning, and you don't need to use a lot. And also, it's important that because a single drop of essential oil represents a fairly large amount of land mass of that plant that's being farmed. It's really important that we choose our essential oils from a company that's using really great farming practices, and that they're going far beyond just organic standards, that you want to have a really truly sustainable system for producing these essential oils. Like an estimated, there are 5.5 million rose petals in 1 liter of rose essential oils. So if that rose is being sprayed by all sorts of pesticides and chemicals and stuff, that's not sustainable, and that's also not going to produce a very good essential oil, because it's going to have a lot of those pesticides. And quote-unquote USDA organic farms are allowed a certain amount of spraying and things like that. So organic is not enough. We want to go beyond organic, and that's what you get with Young Living. Actually, we'll talk a little bit more about Young Living later. But today, right now, I want to talk about antioxidants keep you sexy. So if you're not familiar with free radicals, so it's kind of a catchphrase, free radicals. We've probably all heard it, but we might not understand exactly what it means. But free radicals, they are in all of us, okay? Unless you're like living in the rainforest and you eat nuts and worms all day, okay, you've got some free radicals in you, okay? We all pump gas. We eat produce that's grown, on large scales. Plastic is everywhere around us. Toxic fumes are around us. The average household has over 67 hazardous chemicals within, and to top it off, Americans spend 80 to 90% of their time indoors. So we've all built up these free radicals over time, and they can be really damaging to our cells, okay? They break down our bodies and have been linked to causing all sorts of damage. The FDA won't really let me mention that kind of damage here, but the point is, free radicals are here. They're here to stay, and they're in all of us. So what can we do to combat these free radicals? Well, the answer is antioxidants. And we've all heard about how great antioxidants are for us. They're good for our immune system, but they're really great for combating these free radicals. So you think of antioxidants, you might think of maybe blueberries first off, which I don't think is, oh yeah, there it is on the scale. So the ORAC scale was created by the Tufts University, and it's just a way that we can measure the antioxidant level of a organic matter. So they've got a chart here. If you look at blueberries, it's got somewhere around 2,400. If you compare that to essential oils like clove, that has the highest ORAC scale, it's over 1 million. So I think that that's really cool that essential oils are
amazing.
So high in antioxidants, and it's a lot easier to slap some clove on the bottom of your feet before bed to boost your immune system than it is to eat a pound of blueberries. Or I don't even know how many blueberries it would take to get to 1 million, or on the ORAC scale, but it would take a lot.
They'd probably have to be organic. Would cost a lot of money too.
Yeah, exactly. So real quickly, essential oils support the body's natural defenses. They aid in maintaining normal cellular regeneration. You're going to have to put your thinking caps on to understand that one. They boost stamina and energy, improve mental clarity. They've done a lot of studies on this. It's really, really great how it can improve test scores if you're diffusing essential oils. And just overall promote good health, vitality, and longevity. So back to purity a little bit. I don't want to harp on this too much, but it is important for people to understand. It's estimated that about 95% at least of essential oils on the market right now are adulterated somehow. That means they're diluted with another carrier oil, they're diluted with chemicals, or they're made synthetically in a laboratory somewhere. There's really only about 5%, some people say maybe even just 2% of essential oils on the market right now that can really be considered truly therapeutic grade. It's a big difference. Like Young Living, they always say we're not in the perfume industry. Okay, a lot of essential oil companies are just in the perfume industry. All they care about is that it smells good. Young Living could really care less what their essential oils smell like. They're specifically extracting the essential oils to get the highest medicinal quality, the highest medicinal value out of each and every drop. So that process looks a lot different. Emily, do you want to talk about a little bit about what makes Young Living a little bit different than some other companies?
Well, one thing about Young Living is that they own all of their own farms, which is a wonderful thing. They can really control what's happening on the farms and make sure that that the oils are the most pure, that they live up to the standards that Young Living requires of all of their farms. They don't own every single farm, but they always make sure that the farms that they work with live up to those standards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're truly great. And I love that they're so transparent, too. They're a very transparent company, so anybody can go out and visit the farms and, you know, help plant the lavender and see the distilleries and see what's going on, which is really cool. They do. Go ahead.
I can't wait to go do that myself. Join in on the fun of the harvesting and distilling of the plants.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've been out to Utah to meet the company. It was not harvest season, so I didn't get to help out on the farm. But, you know, I've met the company, and I can honestly say they are like the most down-to-earth, most good-hearted people that I have ever really come across. So, you know, after I went and visited the company, that's kind of what sold me and said, oh my gosh, it's actually true. Everything that they're saying is true, and they really just care about healing people with the power of these oils. So a really, truly remarkable company. I really encourage everyone to go to seed2seal.com at some point, and it tells you about the Seed to Seal guarantee that Young Living has on each and every single bottle of oil. It's really no other company can match this Seed to Seal guarantee. I kind of like to compare, you know, some essential oils out there, you know, not all of them are going to be trash, not all of them are going to be as good as Young Living. There's going to be some in between. But if you can kind of imagine like Wonder Bread versus handcrafted artisan bread, I know that sounds kind of silly, but, you know, they're both bread. They're both going to fill your stomach up, but I think that there's a very big difference between Wonder Bread and some handcrafted artisan bread from whole wheat, you know? And that's sort of what you're getting with Young Living essential oils.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about safety. How do we use our oils safely, Emily?
Well, don't put them in your eyes. That might burn a little bit. Don't put them in your ears. I think it's good to start out diluting them.
Yeah, so what do you do if you get some in your eyes and help it sometimes?
You sounded a little bit like a robot there, but I think you asked me what to do if I got it in my eyes.
Yes, sorry.
Okay, no, that's okay. Well, I would need something like a carrier oil, such as olive oil or coconut oil. Slather it on there and get that out. Don't use water. That would make it worse. If you don't have an oil, like olive oil, you can use milk or something fatty like that to splash in those eyes, get it out of there.
Great. And what's the difference between a hot oil and one that maybe you can put on neat?
Well, some are more potent. They have more of a burning sensation if you put them right on the skin, like the clove. I think it's the clove oil in Thieves and some of the other oils in the Thieves blend. Um, I think peppermint oil is one that in some parts of your body you don't really want to put it right on your skin because it'll have a burning or super cold feeling, which um, we call it the hot sensation on your skin, and so you would want to put the carrier oil on there, like olive oil, to calm that down.
Yes, absolutely. My husband learned that the hard way when I was first getting started. I didn't know peppermint was a hot oil, so I slathered that all over his belly, and he
Oh
started kind of
no!
burning a little bit. So, but it was
Yeah.
okay. We went right back over it with some coconut oil, and it totally cut out the burn. So if you forget, which oils are hot and you put it on, starts to burn a little, just go back over that with some olive oil or some coconut oil, and it will cut down that burning. So he forgave me, and he also stopped farting on me, which is one of my favorite uses for peppermint. So it's good. So if you are pregnant, or if you're using oils on small children or infants, or if you have certain health issues, you just want to do a little bit of extra research. So if you have any specific questions about that, you can reach out to us later. If you're pregnant, I have a really handy chart that goes over which oils you can and can't use in pregnancy. So just email me later and I can get that to you. If you're dealing with a very serious health concern, I recommend that you use your oils, but do so alongside your medical practitioner. Let them know what you're doing. Some of the essential oils are so strong that they can actually increase certain medications' effectiveness. So that might mean you might need to lower your medication, which is a good thing, but you need to be working with someone that knows what they're doing, and you can even consult a certified aromatherapist if you're feeling like you need some more help navigating that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, there's 3 different ways that we can use our essential oils. So, I use them in all sorts of ways. There's really no wrong way to use your essential oil, minus putting them in your eyes and ears, or like drinking a whole bottle of wintergreen or something. But there's
Right.
different ways that we can use them. The first, aromatically, is probably my favorite. We have the home diffuser that comes in the Young Living Starter Kit, and it's pictured here. And it's
This is what
running
I'm
in the
using
house constantly. Yeah. It's got
in the
stress
background
in.
here. I love it.
Mhm. Me too. So it's a great way to get the oils up into the air, a really great way to affect the mood. I call it mind control in our house. I'm like, okay, we're putting in some peace and calming. The second way we use them is internally. Now, this is kind of a hot topic, a little bit controversial. I would say only use Young Living essential oils if you're going to be taking oils internally. I really can't speak to other companies. I've heard a lot of stories of people getting sick, taking essential oils internally, either from other companies where they might be, diluted with chemicals or something, or maybe they use too much. So like we said, these are very potent, substances, so you want to take it really slow in the beginning. If you're completely new to essential oils, you want to just use a couple drops in the beginning, and you can work yourself up to maybe 3 or 4 drops in like a quart of water. That's kind of my standard right now. To help me through my seasonal sniffles, I walk around with a quart mason jar of water with a little bit of honey in it so that the oil doesn't just float on the top. And I add about 3 drops each of lavender, lemon, and I used to do peppermint, but I'm breastfeeding right now and it dries my milk out, so I can't do the peppermint right now. So I've had to experiment a little, but really the lavender and the lemon seem to be going miles in helping me with that issue. Okay.
It's wonderful. And delicious, too.
And it is. It is. Actually, I don't really care for the taste of the lavender, but some people do. Some people can down it, but I do it anyway because it helps so much. But the lemon.
And with the lemon, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and compare that to, doing, fresh organic lemons in your water every day. 1 drop of lemon essential oil is probably equivalent to, a bunch of lemon rinds,
Yeah.
and very, very cost effective. A big bottle of lemon oil from Young Living is only $9 and something cents. So and then the third way we use our oils is topically, so putting the oils directly onto our skin, either diluted with a carrier oil is generally recommended, especially if you're using on kids. There are certain oils that you can put straight onto the skin, and there's different situations that you might want to do that. For example, if you have a minor burn, and you want to put lavender on there, you would not want to go over that with a carrier oil because that would actually trap in the heat. You would just want to put the lavender straight onto that burn, and it can really do wonders for that.
I have seen pictures. Someone said that the peppermint oil did not affect their milk supply, so I guess it depends on the person. It was a breastfeeding mom commenting here in the questions.
Right. Thank you so much for commenting that, because yes, everybody is different, and so you have to be willing to experiment a little bit with the oils. So certain oils will affect people differently. I definitely noticed peppermint for me. I have a very sensitive body type, but certain people would not have that effect. So thank you so much. So topically, I just want to quickly say, if you're not sure where to put your oil, start with your feet. Putting oils on the bottom of your feet, sort of like the picture here, is a really, really great place to put your oils. It gets sucked up into the body really easily that way because the pores of our feet are a little bit bigger than the rest of our body. And for anyone that's familiar with Chinese medicine or acupuncture, there's different parts of our feet that relate to different organs in our body. So you can sort of massage an essential oil into a certain part of your foot that might relate to, say, your liver or your stomach. So you can look up on Google really easily, like a VitaFlex chart. I'm sorry I don't have a picture here, but you can look up VitaFlex. That's VITA Flex, Flex, and that can tell you sort of a map of the foot as it relates to different organs in your body. So the rest of the webinar, we're going to be going over the 10 most popular essential oils. We call them the Everyday Oils Collection from Young Living. It's 10 different oils. Now, Young Living has like over 130 different essential oils, so we're not going to talk about all of them tonight, or we'd be here till tomorrow. So we're just going to talk about the 10 Everyday Oils Collection, because this is really the most popular way that people get introduced to Young Living and how they start using their oils. So, and just to clear the air, tonight you do have the option to purchase the Everyday Oils Collection Starter Kit. It's $150, and it comes with the 10 everyday oils and a diffuser and a bonus box. But tonight, that's just an option. Tonight, our purpose is really just to teach you about these oils and show you how to use them because they're truly wonderful. Just full disclosure, we do work for Young Living. We do make commission if you do choose to buy a starter kit. But our thoughts and our opinions are our own, and we are really just here to teach.
Yeah.
So let's start with lavender. Emily, what's your favorite use for lavender?
Well, this evening I rubbed it all over my baby, diluted with some olive oil, and she sleeps better. I really think that she sleeps much better when I rub lavender all over her. So I did that tonight because we need extra sleep. So that's my favorite thing to do with lavender.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is a really great sleep aid. My toddler is quite wild, so when he's not going down for his nap, I break out the lavender, I sprinkle it all over his blankie, I put some on his feet, and it really does the job. Yeah. Like
someone
I
was asking.
Earlier. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, someone was asking about uses of oils for dry skin. I was wondering if lavender is one for dry skin.
Yeah, I think that would be a really great one to try. for that. Lavender in general is just a really great sleep aid. So, I mean, sorry, not sleep aid. It is a good sleep aid, but it's a really good skin
Yeah.
aid and can do
Hmm.
really great for all sorts of skin issues. So that would be a good one. Out of the starter kit oils, I'd say that or frankincense would probably be good for dry skin.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, great first aid as well. So if you have a minor cut or burn, lavender right on is great. So our friend Holly, her husband, reached into the stove and pulled out a big cast iron skillet that was about 400 degrees and immediately dropped it, and at that point she'd been oily long enough that he knew to go straight to that lavender. He just poured it right over that spot, and within 12 hours there's like not even a red spot. It's amazing how well it can work as first aid for that. This is something I use for my sniffles a lot, and I'll put that in my water a lot and drink it, and I'll also rub it on my stomach, and that seems to be a really great place for me to rub lavender to help with that issue. It's really so
Hmm.
diverse. We call lavender the Swiss Army knife of essential oils because it's got over 1,000 uses for lavender oil. So obviously we can't go over all of them today, but I will say I was so thankful to have lavender around during my second pregnancy. I started to go into preterm labor around 31 weeks of my second pregnancy. And so I went to the hospital for sure. I'm a good girl. But I brought my lavender on the way. I was rubbing it, all over my stomach, all over, my low abdomen, because that's my background. I'm in childbirth, so I know that you're actually not supposed to use lavender in early labor because it can potentially slow down labor and stall it. So I was like, okay, I'm in labor and I don't need to be. It's way too early. So I slapped the lavender, on my belly, and basically, by the time I got to the hospital, everything had died down, and I was able to go home that night, which was really great. I did stay on bed rest for the rest of the pregnancy, and I swear every time I got up to go to the bathroom, I could feel my contractions coming back. So I would just keep slapping the lavender on, and till finally
Oh.
they were like, "Okay, you're allowed to have your baby now." So I stopped doing the lavender, and 2 days later she came. So.
Oh, wow.
So, tea tree oil is a very, very diverse oil as well. Very popular. It's great to clear the lungs. That's how I really like to use it. Like if I'm having one of those days that I'm having a hard time breathing, I'll just take it and take a big sniff, like right from the bottle, and you can just feel it really opening up your lung, which is great. I also like
I
to do
wish we
it
could
for
I wish we could pass a bottle around to everyone who's watching right now and just smell it through the computer.
I know that is the one downside to webinars for sure. But it's truly, and you'll notice a difference if you smell like some Young Living tea tree, and take it into a store. You can really feel the difference there. I like to
Hmm.
add tea tree to my coconut oil if anyone out there is also into oil pulling. So that's where you like swish with coconut oil to help purify the teeth and the gums. I used to
Hmm.
just do it with plain coconut oil, which is really great. You swish it around. You're supposed to do it for like 15 minutes and then you spit it out. And now I'll
Hmm.
add a couple drops of tea tree, or sometimes I'll use the thieves oil to really give like that extra boost to my gums. And I swear my gums have never felt healthier. They're really great. Do you have any stories for tea tree, Emily?
Um, Not a whole lot of stories yet with tea tree oil. I used to put it in my laundry because I had a musty smell in my washer, and so I've heard of it getting rid of mold spores. That's something that I've done with it, and I think it really helps the smell. But purification
Yeah.
might be a better one for that.
Or lemon. Yeah, I like to use lemon in my laundry as well. Lemon's probably one of my favorite essential oils. I think it's only because like it's one of the lower priced oils, so I feel like I can just kind of use it all the time. The other ones I'm a little
Hmm.
more like protective of, but lemon's
Save it.
great. I started using, lemon like a year ago. I would use it really regularly, And what lemon is really great at is it's just a very gentle detoxer of the liver. So this is a picture I like to do when we do home classes. We'll bring a styrofoam cup and we'll just put a drop or two of lemon oil on the bottom of the cup. And you can see it only takes about 5 minutes for that lemon to eat away like a hole in that styrofoam cup. Now, I showed that to a friend of mine once, and she was like, "Oh my God, I'm not putting lemon in my water." And I was like, "No, it's only going to attack the really nasty
The
plastics,
bad stuff.
petrochemicals, the bad stuff that's in our bodies that
Right.
shouldn't be there." Yeah. So, and I've noticed a huge difference since I've been using my oils now for about a year. And I mean, I feel like the oils work better. They work faster for me now because my body's so much cleaner now than in the beginning, and
Mhm.
I've gotten that simple detox. I've also read that essential oils work better within the body if the body is more alkaline on the pH scale. Now, most of us
Mm.
tend to be a little bit acidic on the pH scale, and the oils don't work quite as well if our body is really acidic. So the citrus oils like lemon are really great at helping alkalize the body, and I've really felt a big difference for myself in that. Um,
Yeah. What's the best way to use lemon with toddlers or small children? Someone's asking about all the oils, really. They have small children and they
mhm.
want to know the best way to use these with kids.
Sure. Do you know, Emily, the best places?
Well, I mean, I always like to rub it on their feet, but diluted. With lemon oil, I mix a drop in a big glass of water and with some honey. I usually use warm water, so it's like tea, and I let my kids drink some of that. Um,
Yeah, I
I
do that
think,
too. And some people are more conservative and they'll say, not to allow your kids to drink, lemon water. And so you just have to do what you're comfortable with. Like I've used these oils. I feel like I'm sort of my own science lab over here, and I've used them on my kids and feel really comfortable doing that. But that's just what works for our family. So you have to know what works for
right.
you. But yeah, in general, for children, rubbing on the bottom of the feet or rubbing up the spine, diluted in a
Hmm.
carrier oil, is really great. The general rule of thumb is 1 drop of essential oil per tablespoon of carrier oil for very small babies, and going up from there. Mhm.
Hmm.
There's certain oils you would not want to use on kids, and I think the only one in the starter kit you would not want to use on kids is one called Panaway that we'll talk about a little bit later.
Yeah.
But lemon's a great one for kids. Like if lemon, lavender, and like frankincense are very gentle, very mild oils, and those ones are really great to use for kids for sure.
Hmm.
So another reason I like lemon is just it really wakes you up and peps you up. So it's kind of a very happy smell. You just smell happy. If it's in your diffuser in your house, people come in, they go,
Mm.
"Oh, it's so nice to be here."
That's why it's yellow, like sunshine.
Yeah. It is like sunshine in a bottle for sure. It's also a great household, just to have around the household. If you ever have those like really nasty stickers that just like the goop won't come off of something, just take a cotton ball, put
Oh.
some lemon oil on it, and scrub away. Man, it comes off like super quick. So, and it's also great for laundry. Now, this works better for certain fabrics over others, but here's a picture of a shirt I had that had some really gross grease stains on it that I could not get rid of. So I put a couple drops of lemon oil right on those grease stains and then put it in the laundry, and boom, it was gone. It was awesome.
That is
I've
so
heard some
cool.
people do
I
that.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it worked really well for that shirt. I've heard some people say they have to add a little vinegar, and that seems to help better. I think with
Hmm.
like cotton for some reason it doesn't work quite as well, but you can give it a try.
Hmm.
So peppermint we've talked about a little bit today already. Definitely one of my other favorite oils. Very diverse. So before I was breastfeeding, I would use this one a lot just to help dry out my snot. You could really feel it doing its thing. But really great for minor headaches and also car sickness. So when I was pregnant, we live in the mountains here, so we're always driving around those curvy roads, and I would get really car sick when I was pregnant. So I would keep peppermint around me at all times, and I would just put a drop right on my tongue, and then I would push the tongue to the roof of my mouth. And that seemed to really cut down on my car sickness, and also works really well for headaches. That one trick, that trick of putting it to the roof of your mouth. It's a little bit intense, so if you're new to the oils, you might not want to start there. You can just kind of rub it, dilute peppermint with a carrier oil because it's very hot, but just very, safely rub it kind of on your temples. You don't want to get it too close to your eyes, but rubbing it on your temples or the back of the neck can be really good for those head issues as well, and also great for keeping you alert.
My kids get car sick. We have a really windy road, and so I have a bottle already diluted of peppermint oil, and I just squirt some in their hands, and I have them rub their hands together, and I tell them to just smell their hands. Just smell their hands if they start feeling car sick on the drive to town. So it helps a lot.
That's great. I love this picture. This is one of our friends who was an herbalist. She still is an herbalist. She's been one for years, and she's always been really into natural health, but she had battled with irregular bowel movements for a really long time. She told me I could share this story, so I know we're talking poop, but she told me I could share it. She used to have a bowel movement about every 2 weeks. So that's not healthy. That's not, your body's not detoxing. They're doing that. You're not just storing up all that toxins. So she used to try to battle this all sorts of things. So the picture on the left is all the things she used to try to help with problems. They have her oil there. She's got turmeric, ginger, cayenne, all sorts of things. And really nothing worked, and it really represented a huge amount of money that she was throwing at all of these natural remedies to try to help her out. Not to mention it was a lot of work. She was really busy. She was a caretaker. So once she started using the oils, she found it so much easier to just drop some lemon and some peppermint in her hand with some oil and rubbing it on her stomach. And she would do that, I think, 3 or 4 times a day. And after 3 days of doing this, she started having a bowel movement every day since then.
Yes.
So it was a success.
Good story.
Yeah.
Great.
Now, frankincense is one of my favorite oil by far. It's just it's a magical oil. For anyone that's familiar with Dr. Lin, he's a doctor in where is he at? Oh, I just had a blank. Dr. Lin in Oklahoma, I think, and he is doing a lot of studies on frankincense. So this is a public webinar that's recorded. I can't really talk about all the stuff I wish I could talk about, but you can go do your own research, and it's really cool stuff that they are doing with frankincense. You'll see it being used in hospitals, and it's becoming the subject of a lot of substantial research. So I will say, if you want to promote good breast health, then putting a drop of frankincense on, rubbing that over each breast each morning is just a really great preventative. It's a way that we can promote healthy cells within our tissues so that we can really avoid disaster in the long run. So I think frankincense is just such a magical oil. It's also really great at boosting our immune systems and really great for skin health. So like when I first got started with Young Living, I kept running into these people that are like, oh yeah, I know those oils. I used it to get rid of this really nasty mole. And I just used to think that was kind of a weird thing, but I kept hearing it. And so, basically I learned that frankincense, especially when mixed with oregano oil, it's a very, very effective way at getting rid of moles. So, when you have one of those scary looking moles, instead of running to the dermatologist and forking out, $800 or more to get it removed, and then you're left with that scar, why not try a bottle of oil first? It's like, use it for a couple weeks, and the stories I've heard, people are like, yep, within a couple weeks, it's gone. So I think that's really cool.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. My
If
husband
you
tried. Um,
you go ahead.
my husband tried getting rid of a mole with apple cider vinegar, and it went away, but then it came back. So I'm gonna have him
Um,
try that with the frankincense and see what happens.
Great. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, if you do any sort of spiritual practice, if you pray or do yoga, anything like that, frankincense is very, very uplifting and really connects us with the spirit. So putting a drop right on your forehead is a really great practice to do. If you're doing a yoga class or something, I wouldn't necessarily diffuse frankincense because it is so precious. I think I'd rather just slap it right on my skin so I don't like miss any, but it's great. So frankincense, it is a very, very valuable oil. It was valued higher than gold in ancient times. They've actually found traces of it in King Tut's tomb, and they've discovered that the grave robbers that would go in would actually steal the frankincense, but leave the gold because the frankincense was more valuable. So I think it's really, really great that Young Living puts this in the starter kit. So like a single bottle of frankincense costs you like $80. So it's really
Yeah.
it's really nice of them to put it in the starter kit so that everyone can sort of benefit a little bit from that frankincense.
Hmm.
Now, a bottle of Young Living frankincense costs you, $80 to $90. If you go onto Amazon and you see a bottle of quote unquote pure therapeutic grade essential oil for $15, you got to ask yourself why. Why is that so much cheaper? Because I've seen the process of what it takes to get frankincense, true frankincense, and it's insane. It's intense. So there's a
Can
good
you tell
reason that
us
it's $80. Sure.
tell
Well,
us a little
yeah.
bit about
I
that?
know we're a little behind time, but yeah, it's really great. So
Oh.
the tree farm, there's tree farms in Oman, and Young Living actually owns their own tree farm in Oman, and the trees have to be at least 40 years old before you can go and tap into the tree. And so actually you don't tap into the tree, you actually scrape the bark off the tree and you allow the
Yeah.
sap to come up. Now that's the first sap. Then Young Living does not um, actually take that first sap, and a lot of other companies will, but that first sap does not have as much of the therapeutic grade that we're looking for, the really high, and there's a compound called sesquiterpenes that's really high in frankincense, and that's really what we're going for. So they'll actually scrape off that first sap, put that aside, and then they'll collect the second sap after it comes up to the surface. And it's a really slow process when it does that. And then they take that sap and they let it cure, and it has to cure in the caves over there for at least 6 months to a year that it's sitting there before they can go take that and actually distill it, which in itself takes, I believe it's 12 to 24 hours to do that, all to get, a couple drops of pure frankincense. So, and then we've got to import it all the way from Oman. So it's a very labor intensive
Hmm.
process, and if it's done incorrectly, it can really be damaging to not only the oil but to the trees that they're getting it from as well. So Young Living is dedicated to sustainable growth, and they're really, really careful about how they treat their trees out there. Mm.
That is awesome.
Um, yeah, it's great. Here's just a quick picture of a dog named Chippy, who's a great dog, but he was
Oh.
having horrible, horrible issues with his face. He was like itchy all the time, and he would destroy his face like this. So our friend started using, I know frankincense was one she would put directly onto the wounds to help it heal. She used some other oils as well, and oil have any pets, but there's a lot of oily pet people out there, and we can hook you up if you have a lot of questions about pets. But here's a picture 10 days after using the oils. They were about to put him down. They were really close to putting Chippy down because he was just out of
Oh.
control, miserable, and then they started using the oils, and 10 days later he was so much better, and then 20 days later he's just this happy dog in the snow, really great. And actually, here you can see on her website, wildblessings.com, you can look up her itchy dog protocol if you are having this issue and you want to learn more. All right, so let's take a little break. We're more than halfway through. We're going to go over an hour. Sorry, I told you I'm a talker. But we're going to take a little break here and answer to win one of our diffuser necklaces. So how you enter, I want everybody to go to revolutionoils.com and scroll to the bottom of that page, and you'll find the Facebook link there. And that'll take you to the Facebook page where you will find a post that Emily should post really soon here. Let us know when you've posted, Emily. Okay, great.
It's there. It's over all the way to the left and scroll down a little bit where it says post to page.
Post to page. Cool. I'm looking forward to making sure. So I want you to, I don't see it on the timeline. Are you sure it's there, Emily? Post to page.
Yeah. What happened is I posted it, and it posted to the left underneath photos.
Oh, I see.
Do you see
Interesting.
Okay.
I see it now. Yeah. Okay, so under the photos, you'll see Emily Rose Marriott has posted for our live webinar attendees, and I want you to comment your answer. So the question, what makes Young Living stand out against all other essential oil companies? So just quickly post your comment there, and at the end of the webinar, we'll go back and read, and we'll pick 2 winners from there that can win a lovely diffuser necklace. And then once you're done posting, close out on Facebook. It's going to be our little social experiment and see who has the power to come back and keep learning, because we've got 5 oils left that we're going to talk about for tonight.
Can they see you? Can they see your necklace, or can they not see you? Can you guys
they can't see me right now because I've got my my page up, but I can. Here, I'll exit out real quick, and you can see me.
I want them to see your necklace. Yeah, I'm not wearing mine. It's so beautiful.
So beautiful.
I gave mine to my mother-in-law.
I like to put stress away in here, and I can't crack most. I'm like, okay, I need my stress away.
Yes. My kids like to do that with mine. They would just grab it and put it in their face.
All right. So we'll go back at the end and see what people have said. All right. So we've got 5 oils left that we're going to talk about, and the 5 oils we're going to talk about are actually blends. So the 5 oils that we just talked about are single oils. The rest are going to be different blends that Young Living has created for us. And the first one is Thieves, which is by far the most popular oil that they have. And this is actually the first oil I started using when I got my kit. We were really sick as dogs when our kit arrived. I think I remember running out to the yard to the UPS guy and saying, "My oils are here, thank you!" And came inside and I tore it open and I took the Thieves out and I just started slapping it on our feet, slapping it on our spines, putting it in the diffuser. And that night actually we started painting our living room walls because we felt so good. Which was really amazing. It doesn't always work quite that fast and that magically, but for us, it was truly magical. So, and just recently, actually, around here, there's been so many people sick, and they've all, got these nasty colds or whatever, and I actually caught it, and so I used Thieves and some other oils, and I was over it in like 2 days. And I've been talking to these other people, and they're like, "Oh, I've still got it. It's been like 2 weeks." So it can really help to get you over stuff a lot quicker. Sometimes it's great at just protecting us from getting it in the first place. So I know a lot of moms will slap some Thieves on their kids' feet, before daycare. Kids go to daycare, they come back home, and they slap some more Thieves right on the feet just to kind of knock out anything that might have been going on at daycare. Here's a picture of the story of how Thieves got its name was from the bubonic plague era. There was these thieves that would go in and rob the jewelry and stuff off of the dead bodies, but they would never actually catch the plague, which was extremely odd, and everyone wanted to know why. So when they were finally caught, the king said, all right, guys, I'll give you some leniency on this sentence, if you tell us how you avoided getting sick. And so they turned out being these spice merchants, and they would anoint themselves with these oils and spices to prevent getting the plague. And they would actually put them in these like bird
And
masks.
those creepy masks.
Yeah, creepy looking. And
Yeah.
that's how they would avoid catching, whatever was going around. So I always tell people, if you're going into a hospital or something, take a hospital mask and just put a drop or two of thieves right on the hospital mask so that you create just that extra barrier of protection. Thieves is got cinnamon and clove in it, which is in antioxidants. Do you want to share anything about thieves?
You cut out for a second, but I hear you now.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Do you want to fill in maybe what got cut out or say anything else?
No, I think it was understandable, just that they're high in antioxidants, very high in. You mentioned the clove oil, which is in the thieves blend, on the ORAC scale is like the highest one. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's awesome. And I just got a cold a couple days ago, and I feel almost completely better today. And I really think it's because of the oils, because other than one Tylenol, that's the only thing I've used for my cold. And usually I'm like having soup all the time and echinacea, and those things are great, I think. But I've been a little slack on those, and I've just really been focused on using the oils, especially thieves, for this little cold I caught. And so much better today.
Yeah, absolutely. It really does. I attribute thieves to saving our Christmas this year, because we caught something on the way down that everyone was out for like 10 days at least with this really nasty whatever it was. And we caught it, like 2 or 3 days before Christmas. And I was like, no, I will not be sick on Christmas. So, we thieved it up. And I mean, talking like every 20 or 30 minutes, we were slapping it on.
Yeah.
And we were good within 36 hours.
And you smelled like Christmas, too. I love the smell of it.
It does smell like Christmas. It is really magical. Yeah. So frequency is better than quantity. Is that what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So, if you're dealing with something, it's better to just keep it in your system. Just keep a little bit in your system as opposed to like pouring 10 drops on yourself and calling it a day. Spread those 10 drops out over, 5 hours, and it'll work way better.
That makes sense.
Yeah. This is a picture of Elaine. She's a wonderful, wonderful lady. She's sort of like a grandma to me and to a lot of people. And she was in hospice care. So she went into hospice care, and all of her family came in. That's actually her son that doesn't live around here, but he came in to say his goodbyes. Everyone was coming to say goodbye, and then they started using oils. It was like the same week that her mother was passing away that she got introduced to the oils. They used thieves next to her bed like 24/7. They did all sorts of oils, frankincense, whatever, and it literally like brought her back to life. It was just incredible. Like, this picture is taken about a week later, and she's actually at the dining table with everyone, back to her kind of spunky self. So really, really amazing what they can do. I'll just mention real quick. I know. I'll mention real quick that Young Living does produce a lot of products beyond just essential oils, and a lot of those products will be infused with those essential oils. So they have an entire Thieves line. I'm obsessed with the toothpaste. I love this stuff. You have to like keep from eating it, but it would actually be okay if you ate the toothpaste, from Young Living. It's completely natural products. There's no toxins. So, I want everybody after the webinar to go look at their toothpaste, and if on the back it says anywhere, call poison control, if swallowed, then take it and throw it in the trash can. You should not be putting that into your body if it's got that kind of chemicals in it, that can harm you. So, just throwing it out there.
Someone mentioned the Ninja Red. Are you going to mention that in a minute? Or I
Yeah,
can't remember.
probably not a lot, but yeah, another product they make is called Ningxia Red, and it's incredible. We call it Ninja Juice in our house, but it's another product they make that is extremely high in antioxidants. It's mostly composed of wolfberries, and it's also infused with different essential oils. And it tastes delicious. It totally boosts your energy and very, very healing and very nutritious. I think 1 ounce of Ningxia Red is equivalent to like 58 heads of broccoli or something insane like that. So really cool
And
stuff. And it does. Go ahead.
and you can, I'm pretty sure you can get off of coffee or other energy drink type things that are just not really as healthy. And the
Yeah,
same
absolutely.
this
My husband
yeah,
accidentally had it. He wasn't trying to get off coffee, but we started drinking Ninja Juice and he just kind of stopped needing the coffee. Yeah.
pretty awesome stuff. And the same lady who was saying that the peppermint oil did not dry up her milk also said that the ninja juice, as you call it, I love that, um, boosted her milk supply too. So that's pretty awesome.
Yes. That's awesome. That's great. All right, let's talk a little bit about purification. This is a really popular oil. Um, the only story I have that I really want to share is my ears were hurting really, really bad one day. And I went
Mm.
to the doctor, and she looked in my ear and said, "Yikes! I'm giving you some antibiotics." And I was like, "Well, I'm trying some oils out," and she kind of gave me that look of like, "Okay, sure." And she said, "All right, I'll give you 24 hours to do your thing." She's like, "I really don't think anything's going to touch it because it's really bad and it's really deep in there. But
Mm.
if you see improvement within 24 hours, then I'll let you slide on the antibiotics." So, and I'm not one to never take antibiotics, but I really like to avoid them if I can. So I gave it a try.
Yeah.
I gave it 24 hours, and within 24 hours, much improved. I could still feel it in there, but definitely improved. So I was like, okay, let me give it another day and see if it goes away. It took like 3 days, and I was completely fine. So that was really
Yay.
great, and purification's a really good one for that. And back to safety, you don't want to put it directly into your ear canal. You just want to put like
Mm-mm.
a tiny drop on a piece of cotton ball. Fold it up and put that cotton ball in, stick it in your ears, and you can feel it really drawing things out and opening your system up, which is really cool. Um, I know
Just
you
don't
have a
stick
good
it too far.
purification story. Yeah, don't stick it too far.
Yeah, I do have a good purification story. I started out with the kit, the starter kit of oils, and I got them the day we left for vacation. I was so excited. There was the box at the mailbox as we were driving away for vacation. And when we got to the hotel, some of the rooms were smoking, some were non-smoking. We got a non-smoking room, but we could still just really smell. The hotel didn't have a nice smell at all. So we would come into the hotel after a nice day vacationing, and the hallway to our room would just not be a nice smell, but as soon as I opened the door to our room, it would be like a spa or something. It just smelled so good. And I diffused purification, stress away, some other things, and I just always was pretty amazed by the difference between the hallway and the hotel room. It smelled really good.
Yeah, absolutely. Purification is exceptionally good at knocking out any sort of odors. So, yeah, if you've
Hmm.
like cooked some really gross fish or something and you need to get rid of that smell, then go ahead and start diffusing the purification. Um, Also great insect repellent and really great for insect bites and stings and bumps and stuff. So a really diverse oil, and I love the smell, but it is a strong one. So if you're new to oils, and you're putting purification in your diffuser or something, like just do 1 drop and see how you do.
Hmm.
Because I've known some people that
Yeah.
it'll stir up some stuff for sure. Yeah. And Panaway, I think we've got 2 more oils that we'll talk about. Panaway, definitely a really great oil. So you use it basically the same way you'd use Bengay, and it kind of smells the same too. It's got that wintergreen in it. So the wintergreen is the only oil in the starter kit you want to be really careful with around kids, or if you're pregnant. You want to avoid wintergreen. Be cautious. It does come in a child-proof cap too, so you can kind of remember that way. But so when I was launching my blog, myinnerrevolution.com, I was launching the blog as I was constantly on my computer, constantly typing, constantly on my iPhone, and my hand started to seize up. I mean, it really hurt. It hurt a lot. I'd never really experienced that, so I had to stop. I was like out of work. I couldn't type anymore. So I made a little batch of Panaway. Like if you're using an oil frequently, sometimes you just kind of make a batch of it in a little cup with some carrier oil, and you just kind of, so it's easy access. So I was just rubbing it on there, all day, like as often as I could think of it. I was rubbing that Panaway, on my hands, and within 12 hours I was fine again, and the next day I was back typing, and I had to keep putting the Panaway on because I kept typing, but really I've never had it since, and I still work on the computer a lot, but my hands have been fine since, so really great for that. Any sort of sore muscles or aches or pains or anything like that. So also great for a tension headache. So if you're having a headache caused by one thing, you might want to use peppermint or thieves. But if it's like a tension headache, Panaway might help relieve that as well if you rub it on your neck or your shoulders or anything like that. Do you want to share anything about Panaway, or should we move on to Joy?
Yeah, my mother-in-law was here for a week. She just left yesterday, and she has problems with aches and pains. I don't know if it's hip dysplasia or some kind of spine issue or something, and she was just getting sore. And so I gave her a back rub like one evening while she was here with the Panaway. And she asked for it the next day and the day after that. And so she said she really felt like it was working. So that was sweet. And it was kind of like a bonding thing, too, with my mother-in-law. It was really sweet. So
that is really cool. It is so bonding to touch, people that you care about with these oils. It really is. All right, Joy. Actually, I think we've got two more. Sorry. Joy is probably my favorite, and it's really funny that I say that now because the first time I smelled Joy, I really actually hated it. It was just a very floral smell. It's got rose. I'm not really used to that kind of smell, so it took me a while to get used to. But we've had a lot of deaths this year in my little community, and it's been really hard. So I found myself using the Joy a lot, and I didn't really like the smell, so I would rub it on my feet. And so I wouldn't really have to smell it. And it really helped me with the grief. It helped me cope with those circumstances and get me kind of past this point of just feeling like totally lost. So really great for sadness and mourning, or for siblings, that have some maybe sibling rivalry or jealousy. Like our one friend, her kid was having a hard time when baby number 2 came along, so she would rub Joy just right over his heart. She would put a little drop, and he would come up to her after a while and start asking for it. He would say, "Mommy, I need that oil for my heart," which I thought was so sweet. So, it really helped him with that coping. And also, if you're having a hard time convincing your husbands that, you deserve a Young Living starter kit, tell them that there's an oil in there that can help with the bedroom, so that might help convince them a little bit. But it's really true, man. If you get this stuff going, it can really help you get in the mood. So, and I know this for a fact because my sister, she'd never been to a class, and she didn't know that this oil was good for that, but she was just really drawn to it. And she says I can share this story. She's like, yeah, we were going through quite a dry spell there, but we started diffusing the Joy, and man, we just broke that dry spell. So it really helps. Okay, and Stress Away, the last oil we'll talk about tonight. Someone was asking about stress, and this is definitely a good one for that. So that's why they call it Stress Away. I love this
Yes.
oil. I love the smell of this oil. I was really drawn to it from the beginning. So this is the one that I went to when I was in childbirth. I'll never forget, when my helper rubbed it right on my neck, on my shoulders during transition, which is normally the hardest part of labor. And it totally got me through. I was like, okay, all right, I can do this now. It just really relaxed my whole body, which is what you need when you're
Mhm.
getting ready to go into that next stage of labor. So, I'll never forget that. Stress Away is really great for keeping your cortisol levels down. So, people that want to support healthy blood pressure, this is a great oil to just keep in your purse, and the starter kit actually comes with a little roller ball, and a lot of people will choose this oil to put that roller ball on and just keep it in your purse and, roll it on your neck when you're feeling like you need some help with that. You want to say anything about Stress Away?
I'm diffusing it right now, and it was the first one I used for my kit, and I just really love it still. It helps
That's
with
awesome.
stress. It does.
Right.
And it reminds me of vacation too, because I always put it in the vent on the car ride. Um, like put it on a little cotton ball and stick it in the vent, and makes for a better car ride with a lot of kids.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great idea. I love that little diffuser, cotton ball diffuser. That's great. All right. So there's a lot of oils. Where do you start?
Yes.
This is why I think the Everyday Oils collection is just genius. It's really a fun way to get you started using essential oils, and it's the most affordable way to get started as well. So, there's two options you have if you want to get started with the Everyday Oils kit. You can either sign up as a retail customer. As a retail customer, you'll be purchasing the 10 everyday oils for $154. That's the retail cost. Or you can do option number two, which is what everybody does because it's kind of a no-brainer. You can buy the premium starter kit from Young Living, and it's $150, which is the wholesale price, and it comes with the 10 everyday oils and the home diffuser, plus a bonus oil called Citrus Fresh, which is awesome. It's like delicious and it smells super, super yummy. And then it comes with
Mm.
some samples of the Ningxia Red, like we talked about earlier. It comes with a couple samples of that and some literature and stuff. But the coolest thing about the premium starter kit is that it also gets you your wholesale pass to Young Living. And so after you have your wholesale pass, you can purchase anything you want after that at 24% off the retail price. So it's really the most
Huge.
affordable way. Yeah, it's huge, because you're going to be using these oils. You want to buy them, as cheaply as possible. So getting the wholesale membership and the premium starter kit is the only requirement to become a wholesale member. There's no minimum, there's no monthly fees or yearly fees or hidden cost or anything like that, which is a lot different than most companies. Like if you think about a membership to Costco is going to cost you, I don't know, what is it, like $35 a year or something like that. Um, I think there's another large essential oil company that has a similar thing, but they charge you like $35 a year just for the wholesale membership. And with Young Living, there's nothing like that. So there's really no strings attached. A lot of people are worried because it's called a distributor membership, so they think that they have to become a distributor and start selling to their friends and la la la, and that's not a requirement whatsoever. It's an option, so it's an opportunity. If you do want to make some additional income, by sharing the oils, it's an option, which is great because you can help pay for your oils. If you tell your friends about it and they get a kit, then you get a little bit from that, but totally optional. But
Hmm.
you get your wholesale, membership for life, so long as you maintain spending about $50 a year on oils. You keep your wholesale membership for life. If you forget, if a year goes by and you haven't bought anything, which is really kind of impossible because you're going to love the oils, but say you forget, there's not going to be any sort of automatic charge or anything like that. So kind of a no-brainer. Um, yeah, and actually 91% of Young Living members are technically distributors. They have this wholesale pass, but they're really just customers. They're not actively selling or anything like that. So really most people, that's how they get. So I like to address this question because I get it all the time. How will I know which oils to use for what? Now, the first route you can go is by asking your sponsor. So this is the reason that Young Living chooses a direct selling model, is because they want you to be supported. They want you to have someone that you can go to and say, hey, I'm dealing with this, can you point me in the right direction? So that's why I say no to Amazon. Okay, I've seen people buying Young Living oils off of Amazon, and I just feel really bad because they're completely missing out. Like when you sign up through a sponsor, you get to form a relationship with that person, and they help guide you. So like within our team, we have access to really great support groups on Facebook. We have a private support group just for our members that can go on and ask questions, which is really, really cool. So that's why I recommend, choosing a sponsor. Our private face group has over 1,000 people in it. So this is just for our members. After you become one of our members, you get added to this Facebook group, and you can ask any question on there, and you've got over 1,000 oily addicts on there being like, oh yeah, I've done this for that, and here, try this. And it's really fun.
I love it.
It's a supportive group. It's great people, yeah. Here's another website that's great. If you're just looking for some testimonials, you can go to oil-testimonials.com. Like I said in the beginning, you have to make an account, but it's free, and you can just look up by ailment, and you can read everything that people have used for that. You can also take our free e-course if you want to learn more. The Revolution Oils website has a free e-course on there. I also have one on my blog, myinnerrevolution.com. And you can take either e-course. My e-course goes through each of the 10 oils that we talked about and just gives you a couple more ideas about how to use them. So that's one way you can learn more. And then the most popular way of how to know which oil to use for what is to check your reference guide. And the reference guide is something, yeah, we're so passionate in the Revolution Oils team about educating our members and really empowering them to make good health decisions for themselves, that when anyone signs up with a premium starter kit with one of us, we gift you one of these for free. This book costs like $26 retail cost, and we like to give it to all of our members because we want you guys to know what to do. We want you to know, oh, if you have a health problem, this is what you can do for it. So we really love our members, and they really feel it. So this is just a gift if you buy a starter kit. Let me see here. So if you didn't win one of the necklaces tonight, which we'll go through at the end and pick 2 winners from the contest, we're going to give 3 people the chance to win a necklace tonight. The first 3 people that do decide that this is for them and they want to buy a starter kit are also going to win one of these beautiful diffuser necklaces. So that's just a little fun thing. We like to give stuff away if you haven't noticed that already. And we'll let you know if you've won after you've signed up. So if you're one of the first 3 to order, you'll be getting one of these. But there's no rush. You can really order at any time, okay? And we'll have instructions for that later. But I do want to say, just FYI, they are planning to change the starter kit in a couple weeks. I don't know what the starter kit's going to look like in a couple weeks, so it might look a little different than the oils that we've talked about tonight. So that is kind of your only time clock. I don't like to give people a time clock, but I just want you to know that in a couple weeks it'll look a little different. So if you want instructions of how to sign up, it's a little bit confusing. So if you go to the revolutionoils.com/enroll now, that will have instructions on how you can get a starter kit. Just make sure that when you're signing up with Young Living, when it asks you for the enroller and sponsor ID, you just want to put one of our member numbers in there. Or if you were invited here tonight by somebody else that's already using Young Living, then get their get their number so that they can benefit from that and so that they can be your sponsor. So we're really open here. You know, if someone else invited you here tonight, just check back with that person and enroll with them. Yeah, this is what we do. This is what we do for a living. So, you know, we love what we do, and we're here to answer, you know, any of your questions. The one question I'll address right now that I always get asked when people sign up is, why do they ask for your social security number? So this kind of scares a lot of people off. The reason that Young Living has to take your social security number is they're required by law to do so, because there is that income opportunity tied in with the distributorship. Even though it's totally optional, you know, they don't know who's going to take advantage of that or not, so they have to take your social security number for tax purposes. It's very, very safe and secure. It's actually really technical. It's not even actually stored in their databases. It's stored in some third-party, crazy, high-voltage vault, you know, computer-y land place. So it's very, very safe.
Mm-hmm.
So is there anything you wanted to add, Emily, before we maybe pick a winner for tonight?
Oh, I was just thinking that it's highly likely that you'll want to tell your friends about it if you do end up using them, because you'll love them. That's what happened to me. And so then you might end up getting that bonus check, which is pretty cool. So
yeah, it is really cool. Yeah.
So now we have a couple comments on the question that we posted on the Revolution Oils Facebook page.
Cool. Actually, let me go there so people can see those comments. That'd be cool.
I'm just going to refresh it and make sure I see all of them.
Sure.
There might only be 2. Better hurry up and comment if you're going to try to win. Or is it too late?
If you refresh.
Ah.
No, I think there's
yes,
6 on there.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm seeing 6. Okay.
I can see my screen. Sorry, I think my internet's getting a little tap here, but here's some great comments. So what makes Young Living stand out from other companies? Brooke Strange says they are made with 100% oils, no dilutions or chemicals. So true. Love it. Yeah. Maggie Ruckman says the seed to seal process is really can't be matched. Seed to seal is awesome. Danny Shields says they own their own farms and distilleries and have the ability to control how they're run. There are only 30% of oils from their partner farms that are accepted. They have the ability to truly maintain the greatest quality. Love it, Danny. Thank you.
Good answer.
Yeah. Michelle Tartagilia, I'm sorry, I totally butchered your name. She says seed to seal and beyond organic process. Love it. Mm-hmm. So true. It truly is beyond organic. And just FYI, people ask why they don't actually have the organic certification on their bottles. It's because so many of their products are coming from all over the world. You know, they like to grow the plants where they're most native. So they're coming from all over the world, and you know, organic certification is not a global thing. So they can't actually get that stamp. Colette says the vast majority of essential oils on the market today are only suitable for cosmetics and perfumes. Young Living's oil produced a therapeutic grade oil. These oils are a result of Young Living's strict, detailed method of producing the oils to obtain the purest plant essences through their seed to seal process. The body knows how to utilize the oils for its greatest good. Oh, I love that.
Good answer, Colette. You did good. She might have done. Sounds like Colette might have done some note taking.
She might have. I love it. And Danielle Brown says they own their own farms. They work hard to create their own oils, and they are part of the 2% that are true therapeutic. Love it. So true. So I say, Emily, you pick one winner, and I'll pick another.
Okay. I really feel like Colette's answer is well thought out, nice and long, like she might have taken notes, and that she did her homework maybe. So I think Colette would be a great winner.
I think so too. I love it. And all right, so Colette, you will win a diffuser necklace tonight, and one of us will send you a private message. Just make sure to check there's an other folder on Facebook. So it might go there, but we'll message, and then you can send us your address. I think my winner, I'm gonna pick partly because I feel bad for butchering her name, but also because I just love that she said beyond organic process, because it's so true. And I think I said that, so maybe she took a note about that. All right. So
That's
Michelle,
good.
thank you. We'll send you a private message. Just check your other folder, by the end of the night, and we'll get that necklace to you.
Congratulations, ladies. The necklace is
Yeah.
beautiful and amazing.
Oh.
Show us your
This has been
necklace.
so much fun. Oh, here's my necklace. Yep. Love it. Oh. All right. And then, yeah, if you really want a necklace, be one of the first 3 to sign up tonight, and you'll get one as well. So thank you so much, everybody, for coming here. If there's any more questions, we will certainly answer those now. And thank you for sticking it out. I know this was about an hour and a half, so you guys have done really, really great. Are there any
I'm looking
more
at the
questions that you
questions.
noticed coming through, Emily?
There are comments. It's weird how they come up and they seem to get out of order every now and then. I don't know if it is normal, but I'm scrolling through to see what I missed. You covered the allergy, no, yeah, how we can't. But someone had mentioned rosacea. But I think they know the answer to that one. Hang on a second. I'm sorry. I don't see anything that we didn't cover.
Okay. Great.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, and thanks again, everyone. We're going to stop broadcasting now. This has been super fun. Google Hangout Live. So thank you, everyone, for attending, and we'll let you know, the next time we do an event. And my goal this year is to do a lot more 102 classes, so classes that go beyond the starter kit. But I'll let you know when those happen. If you want to subscribe to my newsletter, my website is myinnerrevolution.com. If you subscribe to the newsletter by either taking the e-course or just subscribing there, then that will allow you to get updates on whenever we do another fun class like this. So I encourage you to do that so we can stay in touch. All right, and thanks, Emily, for joining me. This was super fun. Bye.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.